Hey everyone, this is Zach Webster, and welcome back to another video. So ChatGPT 4.0 came out recently with images, and I've been experimenting with it. So I wanted to show you one of those experiments. This is sort of like a live action version of what Ben 10 movie would look like if they actually decided to make it. Uh, so yeah, this is again just experimental, like very quick iterations. So I would call this like very early initial concepts. It's not refined, but that's the whole point. Like to go through these things and try to figure out what things work and what don't. I'm gonna tell you about the process that actually went into making all of this, and also like some of the learnings about 4.0 in general on how it makes these things, or like the critique that I could have about this. All right, so let's hop in. So these are some of the like just uh, sort of covers or posters that I created out of it. So what I've done over here is like I created these characters one by one, and then just had them like blended them into like one Figma frame, and then added some more stuff like the logo and all of that. So this is what it's looking like. This is the movie poster way of it, or like the movie poster style, kind of. I tried to blend them together and just create something that looks visually okay. So this is where it is at. These are again some of the same ones, but made for IG. Like the dimensions are a bit different. Some of the colors or like contrast and saturation, etc., has been changed slightly a bit in Figma to more of like my liking, and just so they blend together. But that's what it is. And now let's hop into each of these characters, or we're going to talk about the process and like some of the things around them. All right, so when I first started, the first two models that we have over here are pretty vanilla. Like the prompts were fairly basic, and so it's done an okay-ish job. Like they're not very lower accurate. And as you move towards the right, you get these characters that are starting to look more like it. I think this one is probably the most precise one. It's also sort of the more like easier ones for the AI to make, especially because it's fairly resembling humans, and then it has this alien face. So I actually love it. It looks pretty sick. It's a bit funny to be honest too. But this was like super hard. This took me like the most time, probably an hour or two or more than that, just trying to refine it. I kind of also did end up hitting the limits of generation, so I had to wait. So that adds to the time. But anyways, it's done a really good job. There are some changes that it missed out. For example, the eyes, they're supposed to be four, and there's no nose. There's not supposed to be a nose over here. And also like just some finer details, like the legs only have two toes in the original, and here there's like three of them. This one, I'm super like I was super impressed with how precise or how mechanical it made these legs over here. The first version was not this good, but through prompt time, it got to a stage where it looked super mechanically accurate, and I was super impressed with this. The colors and everything is also cool. Again, some of the finer details like the shapes can be a little bit different right now, and because I also did have some limited time to work on this, like just started as something that I was gonna spend an afternoon on, and but did end up extending beyond because I just got carried away and I tried out a few more things, a few other series, Samurai Jack, whatever, just because it was fun. All right, now let's get into all of the notes, which is everything that I learned. We'll start with the rating first. And so I'm gonna rate this 4.5 overall based on all of the other platforms that I've tried out. The whole experience of it is pretty neat. So that's insane. Yeah. Now, the second thing, sort of a critique. It does a great job, but it does not yet follow references to a point. Like it misses. Sometimes you'll feed in sort of a reference and it will create something that's entirely different. Faces, especially, it struggles with, or it just does not want to make the same ones. Maybe that's how it's trained to do right now. For might be for legal reasons and all of that. Next, it struggles with some complex structures, finer details, like it tries to maintain more of the human form for some of these characters, especially that are not human-like. And that's probably right, because most images that would be generated are going to be about humans, and maybe in its training they sort of weighted it more towards like creating more human accurate forms. So there's that. Next, prompting, like when you're refining any sort of an image or generation, specific edits or specific areas that you want to edit, it does that, but it also edits everything else. Not everything else, but something randomly that you did not ask for, and then you have to again try to fix it and move it towards the direction that you want to go to. So there's that. But again, this is like for niche things, like very specific directions. Hopefully this improves in the future. I even tried using the like edit specific portion feature, but still it ended up editing other areas. So there was that. The ability to have no backgrounds, that's crazy, but there's no variable opacity, and I'm going to show you what that means. So let's say we have a character like this, like fire or like diamonds over here. They would in general have some opacity, like you can see things behind them. But if I do use any of these characters and move them in front of everything, let me try. Okay, so if I move them on the front, you can't really see any opacity over here right now. Okay, so over here, if you see, like there's no opacity. Same with this guy. And that's because it just does not have that feature yet. I'm gonna move it back to where it was. And yeah, so for diamonds also, like it's the same. There's no opacity. A pixel can be either filled or not filled. So there's that. Hopefully in the future versions, they do add the feature for variable opacity, and that would help create more assets for the web and pretty much anything else. But this was super good for learning all of these things. Like I wouldn't know about this if I hadn't tried it out, but now I did. Now that I've done, I'm happy that I did. And it's been super great. It's been super fun experience. So yeah, overall, 10, 9 out of 10, 4.5 for whole of this, like the generation process. But just like how impressed I am overall, that's a 9 out of 10. One final thing that I would like to add in terms of like prompting is like when I try to do these logos over here, it does not necessarily understand or know like some of the context when you feed in images or like references. Like for example, it does not know that some surfaces are supposed to be glowy and some are not. So the more better you get at prompting, the better kind of output you're gonna get. And this probably opens up a field that we have all been hearing about, prompt engineering, or as like a Prime agent likes to call it, prompt engineering or whatever. But yeah, that's the future, I guess. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. This is Zach Webster signing off. Over and out. Peace.